So today I'm planting beets, and I thought I'd do a tutorial. Someone actually asked me to do a tutorial on how to plant beets, as well as give a little information about planting beets. Last year I grew beets and they grew really well, and I thought, let me try it again and see, because I have this very pretty packet of beets from the seed vault, and it's a mixture of different varieties of beets, so it's going to be a surprise when you pull them out the ground. So I wanted to actually do plant this, and it says that it has 75 seeds, and I'm going to do it in this tray over here. And but let me give you a little bit of information first on planting beets. Beets love full sun. um, they can do about 4 to 7 8 hours sun, and they will do really well. The more sun you give them, the better it is for them. Of course, they love loose soil, not very clay heavy soil, because the beet itself needs to grow, you know um, and they don't require too much fertilizer or nitrogen. I'm using compost as my fertilizer today, not not really any other type of chicken manure or anything like that. And I'm planting the seeds, sorry, directly into the soil, because if you transplant, I find personally, if you transplant the seedlings into the soil, the root, because the beet is actually the root, I find that it does not the root itself turns out kind of weird shaped. I find it's better when you put the seeds directly into the soil and you allow it to germinate there and take off from there. Same thing with carrots. Carrots do not like to be transplanted at all. They will end up being very weird shaped. So that's really all you need to know about beets. You need to keep them moist, of course. You don't want them to dry out, and you don't also want them to get too much water, because the beets themselves can crack when they start to fall. And that's about it, really, when it comes to beets. And so I'm gonna show you just how I the type of soil I use and how I'm planting it. So I'm using this very light soil. It's a mixture of compost and premix, and you want to mix it in well and get rid of any very big lumps. It doesn't really matter much for beets. For carrots, you really want to take the stones out, but for beets, they're not that finicky. So what I do is, after I'm mixing it, I'm going to wet the soil. It's best to wet it before you put the seeds in. So I'm just giving it a good soak. And once you've wet it, the packet says that they should be a ½ inch deep and about 2 to 3 inches apart. So we want to plant them close, because beets don't really take up a lot of space. So I believe I should get about 2 rows of beets here comfortably. Yeah, about 2 rows should fit. So I'm just gonna see how much fits and what I come up with. And I'm not doing them too deep, because beet seeds are fairly small, and one seed actually, it's actually a seed pod, not a seed. So one pod has a few seeds in it. So if you see a few seedlings coming up from one seed, don't be alarmed or surprised. So I'm just gonna drop it in the hole like this. And you could actually plant a few together in a clump, and that will be fine as well. So I just wanted to do a that I think I'm gonna do a middle row here as well, because it seems like there will be enough space. And what I usually do is I plant beets at the edges of my rows because I find that they do well there. They don't really require too much space and too much fuss. And after you put the seed in, all you do is cover them back up. I'm trying to get the rest back. So all you do is gently cover them up. Remember, you're not going too deep with your hole, so you want to just cover them up gently, not press down too hard or anything. And because it's already moist, you don't need to water again. I will water them in the morning because in this area we'll get sun. So I just want to give it a little water in the morning again, and about twice a day I'll water it, and I'll keep you all updated on how it goes. And that's it